I'm Jim Day. My pleasure to welcome in Scott Hartnell. He's a member of the Columbus Blue Jackets, getting ready for another NHL season up in Columbus, and appreciate you joining us. First of all, I was expecting the big bushy hair like you had in Philadelphia. Is this just an off-season thing?
Well, I wanted to. Summer's always nice to have short hair, especially with the hot weather. But I'm just excited to get to Columbus, get set up, and excited to be here today. Watch the guys play.
Before we get to hockey, let's talk about baseball a little bit. How I know in Saskatchewan, I understand you play some Little League ball?
Yeah, played growing up, and I don't think I was the best player around, but love to be out, outside on a nice sunny day and play catch and hit the ball around. And always been a fan of it. Philadelphia, watched the Phillies play, and just always been a big fan.
And you watched the Phillies play the Reds, I know, and a game Reds fans would like to forget that series.
I hate to say it, but it was a pretty good game that first day. If you like Halliday, I liked him playing for the Blue Jays before he came to Philly, so he was my boy. But no, it's just cool to be here at new ballparks. There's nothing better than having a cold beer and a hot dog and just enjoying some nice weather and a good ball game.
No question about it. All right, you threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Looked pretty good. How'd you feel?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't too nervous till I actually went out on the mound. I looked where I was throwing it. It looked like it was a good quarter mile that I was throwing it, but I was able to get it over the plate. And I think if there was an umpire there, it would have been a for sure strike.
You met. Well, we have one Canadian on this team, that being Joey Votto. You guys were able to talk before the game. How'd that go?
Well, a good Canadian boy, obviously is, and obviously watched his career. There's not too many of them in the major leagues, and really nice gentleman. And obviously offered if him or some of the guys want to come down to Columbus and watch a game. And he goes back to Toronto for some time in the summer. So obviously we play the Maple Leafs too. So hopefully be able to hook up with him. And just an honor to meet all the guys here, especially Joey.
Yeah, before it was a treat to go to Toronto. With now the Blue Jackets now in the Eastern Conference, so play them a lot more. Let's talk about the hockey team. Now, I remember when I was covering hockey, you were with the team that in Columbus they called Darth Vader. You were with the Nashville Predators, and that didn't go so well back in the day. But how do you think you're going to endear yourselves to Blue Jacket fans?
Well, like you said, I played Nashville. I played a lot of games against the Blue Jackets, and even then it was a hard building to come in and play. Even though maybe we did beat them more times than not, we're in a Nashville jersey. But the last few years, obviously talked with my family when the trade was going on, talking to other guys in the league, other peers, and said, wow, that's a great addition to Columbus. They were hard to play against now, and be a little bit better that I got here, and hopefully I can contribute, be a leader, win some hockey games. That's what it's all about, and obviously win a Stanley Cup. And we believe that we got a great young group of guys, and we're right there.
It's definitely a different culture up there in Columbus, making the playoffs last year, and that always gets the fan base going, gets the team going, get the morale going. So guys looking forward to perhaps obviously making the playoffs, going deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. It was watching that series last season against Pittsburgh. They were right there beside him, and the biggest thing that made me want to come here, I had to waive my no move clause to come here. It was talk with John Davidson, talk with Yarmo, how disappointed they were and not satisfied at just making the playoffs, how they wanted to beat Pittsburgh. And when you hear that from the top people, it just filters right down through the organization, and that's something I want to be a part of. I want to win. That's the only thing I want to do is win.
John Davidson, a good hockey man. There's no question about that. Season opener October 9th at Buffalo. And then the home opener October 11th versus the Rangers. You got to be looking forward to that, because that means training camp is over, because you're at the back end of the career, and I imagine training camp isn't fun anymore.
No, this is probably the least fun part of the year for me. The 2 weeks leading up to training camp, when you get there, your business, your own business. This is a tough time, but excited to play the Rangers. Obviously, being in Philly, you got a lot of rivalries, against Pittsburgh, against the Rangers, and I'm looking forward to just bringing my attitude, my hard work, my passion for the game in that dressing room, and show the young guys that it's we're here to win.
All-Star game. It's going to be an Ohio flair in two of the major sports. Cincinnati looking forward to the 2015 All-Star game. In Columbus, the All-Star game was supposed to be there a few years back, but the lockout didn't enable that to happen. But it's going to be there. There's got to be a lot of excitement in C-Bus for the All-Star game.
No, it's cool. I think it's the passion the fans show out there to bring the one of the coolest, where every best player over the whole league gets to come to Columbus, showcase their talents, and it's a well-deserving town, I think, for it, and I'm sure they'll put on a great show.
I know they had some Hartnell wigs in Philadelphia because of that hair. Can we expect the long hair coming up in the season? That's the pertinent question right here.
Well, the one guy that I do remember playing against the Blue Jackets was Mike Commodore, and he'd always cut her short and just let the orange curly hair go. And
he'd cut it short and then leave it go the rest of the way.
So I don't know what I'm going to do this year, just how I feel, but I'm sure in the 5 years I got left, I'm sure the long hair will come out one of the times. So
we're looking forward to it. Appreciate you joining us. Lots of luck this season.
Great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
That is Scott Hartnell, going to add a lot of veteran presence to the Blue Jackets this season, and going to go back to the playoffs. Tom?